Hi everyone, this is a quick video. It's a bit late and it's not going to get to the masses on YouTube, I guess, but I do need to keep the channel going, so I'm just going to upload a few videos as we go on. We got Chisora against Brown. Well, not Chisora against Brown, sorry, just Allen against Brown, and we got Chisora against Gashi. This is more to do with the undercard and just the information in the undercard and who's going to be fighting. I watched the post pre-match conference, sorry, and David Haye and Eddie Hearn were facilitating it. Their relationship's a bit strange, but one thing I do know is Eddie Hearn's probably impressed with the skills that David Haye has, because he's very equipped at selling a fight and selling himself, as we saw in the past with the two Bellew fights. You know, he really sold me a dream and really thought that David Haye would win those two fights, well, the first fight and then the second. You know, and it wasn't to be, and that was, you know, so he really sold those fights. But moving on, it's not about Eddie Hearn. So on the undercard, we got John Hardy Jr. He's relatively unknown, one of Dillian Whyte's fighters. Even in the press conference, sorry, Eddie Hearn refers to Dillian Whyte as the new Al Heyman because he's picking up these fighters, and I think it's a real good model for him, and good model for UK fighters that have a platform to just start to pick up some fighters from their areas and stuff, and really start to build a business with it, so they can have something to do and not literally go and just keep fighting until they can't anymore. I know he's got Richard Rakpo, and you know, I haven't seen this guy fight, but apparently he's good. I'm beating a record, and let's see. He said he went to prison, etc. You know the whole story. None of that matters. It's all about being good in the ring, you know. So we also got an American on the undercard. I think he's one of Eddie Hearn's fighters in America. Eddie Hearn must be impressed with him, as he brought him to the UK. For the UK fans, he's like 20 years old, from Brooklyn. He's got about 3 knockouts, I think, in the first round. You know, he calls himself white chocolate, so we'll see how good he is, really. Hopefully, if we can catch the undercard. He's been sparring with Danny Jacobs, etc. And he's from New York, so yeah, he's definitely in good company. Danny Jacobs, obviously, he got a fight with Canelo coming up. You know, one of the best middleweights in the world. I do believe he beat Triple G. And he's got Canelo. That's a big ask. We got a woman on the undercard as well, following the undisputed fight in America. So women's boxing is coming up, and I think her name's Shannon Courtney, something like that. I think she may be with Adam Booth. She had a debut fight not too long ago. Apparently she done well. I didn't see the fight, so we can have a look at that fight and see how good she is. Obviously we've got Katie Taylor in UK, well, in Ireland. She's a female boxer coming up as well, so female boxing is on the rise. Then we got Conor Benn. For me, like, the long game is getting UK fighters that can go over to America and actually challenge and actually show Americans that, you know, the UK isn't just people that are gonna go over there and get plowed over like Anthony Crolla did with Lomachenko. You know, obviously Lomachenko does fight out of America. And Conor Benn, not saying he has the tools to do that, but he definitely has the mouth. I really like Conor Benn, actually. You know, he's really down to fight. He's been calling out Josh Kelly, obviously, which is on the undercard as well, and he knows Josh Kelly is definitely a great prospect, and he doesn't give a shit. He's like his dad. He's literally like his dad. You know, he loves the scrap, and he means it. It's not like, I do like Eubank, but I don't think Eubank means it as much as Conor Benn does. Conor Benn means it. He loves it. You can tell. He's coming off an injury, so we'll see the fight that he's got. And we got another British lightweight title fight, Joe Cordina and Andy Townsend. You know, Joe Cordina's Welsh, 8-0. We'll see how that fight goes. Don't know too much about both of them, but we'll see how that goes. Then we got Pretty Boy Kelly, Josh Kelly from Sunderland, 8-0. And he's a great prospect. I'm a bit concerned about the fighters that he put in with him. They're very limited. They have no power to fight. The fight he's actually fighting next is I think he's like 17-0, which is a great record. But he's got 3 knockouts, so they do know what they're doing when they do put these fighters in these fights. You know, but I think he might be fighting in America as well, on AJ's card as well, because I know they want to give him as much exposure as they can. You know, so maybe that's why they've just chosen this fight. That fight is from Poland. sometimes you don't expect it to go to be as hard as it might be, so you never know. You just never know. Then we got Chisora Del Boy versus Geshi. For me, Chisora, you know, obviously he's a veteran fighter. He's been in there with Klitschko, been in there with Hay, been in there with so many fighters. You know what I mean? He loves a tear up. He loves it. This fight he should be winning. Like, he's fighting Geshi, who just recently lost to Takam, which is a bit strange because Chisora actually beat Takam as well, but I know that was a lucky win, and in my opinion was a lucky punch. Takam was really giving him that work, and I mean that. He was really, if you go back and watch that fight, he was really giving him that work, and I feel like he pulled a lucky punch out of the bag. But you know, Chisora looked fit. He's with David Haye. He's in shape. You know, I don't know how David Haye gets these fighters into shape. Hopefully none of them are popping soon, but you know, he gets into some great shapes, man. Chisora is like 6'1". That's another concern. I don't know how he's fought all these people all this time. Being 6'1", he's slightly taller than me, like, and I'm nowhere near heavyweight, I'll tell you that. So it's like, you gotta give him respect, you know. Geshi's claimed that, and he had only 3 days to prepare for the Takam fight that he lost. So hopefully this will be a good fight. I think it will be. But the main event, which is Dave Allen versus Lucas Brown. Dave Allen's obviously a crowd favorite, you know, and the two of them are acting like they love each other. The White Rhino and Lucas Brown. But we'll see how the fight goes. This is the fight I really can't call, actually. It's because I might accumulate a bit. I really can't call this fight. Lucas Brown's a heavy puncher, previous world champion, obviously. No, not a real world champion, but obviously what do they call it again? It's like a standard belt. Can't remember what they call it. Just slipped my mind. But he had the WBA of that, so I don't know. We'll see how this fight goes. You know, I do think that Dave Allen is actually a better boxer than Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown is literally just a big man, big puncher, big guy, and the knockout that Dylan White distributed him was unbelievable, man. Probably the knockout of the year in my opinion. He was out cold, you know what I mean, and that just shows me that, you know, I can't see any of them being knocked out. That's the only thing. Dave Brown wasn't even knocked out by Lucas Ortiz, let alone being knocked out by Lucas Brown. So, you know, even Dylan White he didn't knock him out, but he stopped him just like Dylan White did, but they didn't knock him out, if you get what I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, Brown did have the regular belt, so he did have the heavyweight regular belt. So, you know, he is a big challenge for Dave Allen, so we'll see how the fights go. But that's literally the undercard. Probably the video won't get to anyone really, but we've got to continue to grow the channel and obviously put videos out. That's pretty much it.